Hi, I'm Alana. Welcome to another video. In today's video, we're doing a get ready with me for church. So, the first thing that I would like to do today is recommend a book that I read this week. So, my book recommendation for today is called How to Get a Date Worth Keeping by Dr. Henry Cloud. So, this is the book, and you may remember a couple of weeks ago I read another book by Dr. Henry Cloud called Boundaries in Dating. So he has written several books, and so Boundaries in Dating was about, how to set appropriate boundaries in dating, and this one is, of course, how to get a date that is worth keeping. So he is a doctor, he's a Christian doctor of psychology, and he begins the book by talking about how he was meeting so many people in church and in his clinical practice who seemingly could not find any good dates. And so he created this program to help them find dates worth keeping. And so it begins by, the first step in it is you have to keep a record of all of the eligible men you meet, say, or women, but let's just say men. So you have to keep a record of every eligible man that you have met this week. And so then the second step is that you have to try to meet 5 new men each week. And so there are 3 requirements for the new men that you have to meet. So for the second step, you have to meet 5 new men each week, and they have to be men who, 1, are new to you, or women, you know what I mean, are new to you. They have to have enough of an interaction with you that they would be interested in maybe asking you on a date. And then the third requirement is that they have to have enough information about you to ask you on a date. So they have to have, a way to contact you, like your phone or email, or a way to get in touch with you. And so, then there are several other steps, but he basically talks about how you should go on dates with all kinds of people, not just people who you would maybe want to marry, because he said that that's not the point of dating. He says that the point of dating is to learn about yourself and, have experiences with new people, because of course when you meet new people, when you meet all kinds of new people, you learn a lot about yourself. And so he also talks about how you should be yourself from the beginning, of course, and you should get a team. So you should get a team together of people who will hold you accountable to, not go back to a toxic guy, or to just hold you accountable. So in chapter 6 he also says, if you say there are no good prospects, you don't get it. So he talks about how if you think that there just aren't any eligible men or women around, then that's not true. But in fact, if you are not meeting eligible people, then that means that maybe there's something in you that you still need to work on. He talks about how, say, 2 attractive, intelligent women can be sitting at a bar, and one will get approached and the other one will not. And so that is because one of them is open, her energy is open to people approaching her, whereas the other person, her energy is not saying, I'm approachable. And so, he talks about how you need to work on your own issues before you will start meeting the eligible people, because they are around. And so, that is How to Get a Date Worth Keeping by Dr. Henry Cloud. Now, I did also want to talk about a podcast interview that I listened to last night. It was on Soft White Underbelly with a woman called Jae Tracy, and she talked about her upbringing, and this was the saddest story. Like, she talked about how her mom was really abusive, and her mom started dating this guy called Trevor, I think his name was, and Trevor was just like the worst person ever. And they moved to this little rickety old house out in the middle of nowhere. So her and her brother had a disability. Her brother had cerebral palsy, and this Trevor guy who her mum was dating, they were both drug addicts, her mum and this Trevor guy, and he would like call her brother who had cerebral palsy, he would call him all kinds of slurs and like call him an idiot, and like, oh my gosh, it was the saddest story. So they moved out to this rickety old house where the kids actually had to walk like 6 kilometers to school every day, and then they would like smell and stuff because they weren't getting taken care of properly, so they weren't showering and bathing, and like they weren't fed. And then as soon as they got to school after walking 6 kilometers, the other kids would just say like, "You are so effing ugly." And she talked about how like when she had nightmares and she was scared and she would climb into her mom's bed, her mom would literally like kick her out of the bed. And oh yeah, and also they lived on a farm because her mom always wanted to be able to say, "I live on a farm," but she didn't take care of the animals. So there were just like animals everywhere and like poo and mess everywhere. And they had 2 dogs, but then the dogs bred, and so they had 9 dogs. And then one day all of the dogs got out and like killed all of the chickens. And then her mom said to her and her brother, go and collect all of the dead animals. So she had to go and collect all of the dead animals. And then that night when she got into bed, she like felt something next to her, and she turned on the light, and her mom and Trevor had put the dead chickens in her bed as a funny joke. So very twisted family, but it was a really good story. So highly recommend listening to that interview on Soft White Underbelly. Her name is Jae Tracy. So thank you for getting ready with me for church today. You're beautiful. You're perfect. I love you. God bless you. If you're new, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel.